I'm your host Brian, and today we're continuing our series on camping fuel with propane. Now, the beauty about propane is cooking with propane is just like cooking with a gas stove at home. You can have a lot of the same versatility, unlike with fire or charcoal where it's basically barbecue food. You can actually cook a 3-course meal while camping just like you would at home. So that's what we're going to do today while I talk about the various types of propane stoves. This is a Primus propane stove. This is from the 70s. I picked it up off of the internet, and what I like about it is, at least for shooting videos and talking to people, is I can work on any side of it. The only downside of it is if I'm in high winds, it's got no windbreak, but it's still not a bad little stove. Okay, so what we're doing is we're getting our cast iron pan nice and hot before we put the meat in. And then when the meat's about halfway done, we're gonna throw our Asian medley in our saute pan here. And we're gonna...
That's not a saute pan, man. That's
in our pot.
In our pot, there we
Okay.
go.
We're gonna throw some Asian medley into our pot. We're gonna, on low, just to warm it up. And then also I have some quinoa and vegetable protein blend that's going to go on the other burner in my small nested pot. And then for a little bit of flavor at the very end, we're going to add in a little bit of a mango marinade. So as you can see, we're starting to get some smoke off the cast iron, so it's about ready to throw the meat in. And we're going to get that going. That's the sound you want to hear. You want to hear that instant sizzle when the wet meat first hits. Okay, so while this cooks, I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Okay, campers, we're going to let the steak cook for a few minutes. And while I tell you about all the different types of propane grills, my new assistant Shalimar is going to wash the food, and she's going to continue cooking while I talk. So, as I stated, I already told you about this grill. Another nice thing about propane is there's a lot of different versatility. You can get single burner grills like this, or stoves. The advantage of this, the one advantage of propane is you can get single burner stoves. The nice thing about these is they're small, they're portable, you can take them back camping, you can leave them in the car for emergency purposes, or if you're not taking a lot of stuff when you're camping at the campsite, you can still just bring this. This is all you need. Very handy, and especially if you just bring like one pot or one pan or whatever. There's a lot of different styles. There are some that the burner's right over the gas tank and they have a foot that you can put it on to stabilize it. I like this model. It's an older model, but I like the fact that it's got the tripod design. Gives you a little bit more stability. That's your single burners. Again, great for single person, great for backpacking, or just having as an emergency stove. Then we're going to move on to our larger 2 burners. The nice thing about these is if you're cooking for a lot of people or camping with a lot of people and you're going to be producing a lot of food, you have 2 big burners. They're fairly well built and heavily built. They take a little bit more space, but if you have a lot of cooking you need to do, this is what you want to go with. You can also get models similar to this that have built-in legs, so there's a standalone unit if you don't want a table. The downside is the ones like this one without the table is you have to bring a table with you to put it on and cook on. Okay, then we have the Tailgating Grill. The nice thing about these is they are standalone. You don't need a table. You don't have to take up space on your picnic table. You don't have to bring a table with you. Some things to look for when you're getting these is try to get one that has a way to secure your griddle stations, because I've seen some, particularly my personal one, is I have to transport the griddles separately because they will jostle around too much when I'm transporting it. So you want to look at them, see if they're designed to transport all the things you need to use them inside them, or look to see if there's a bag made for you put everything in. One nice thing about this is also it has some wheels. Another thing to look for is you'll find two main types of griddles for your tailgating type grills. Is you're going to have either cast iron, which is you have to try to destroy or you have to really neglect, and then they have ones that are non-stick coated with a Teflon-like material. The problem with those is I haven't been able to find what that Teflon-like material is. I know Teflon has been phased out because if it got too hot it released dangerous gases. Also, if you try cleaning a non-stick grill with a wire brush like you would this cast iron, you're going to destroy it, and the non-stick has a tendency to chip if the grill plates are hitting against each other. So I recommend make sure they're cast iron grill plates, and if you go for this model. Okay, and then the last thing is a antique. This is from the 1970s. The company that makes this went out of business, but I will leave a link to a conversation with the daughter of the inventor. This is kind of a nice all-in-one unit. It has you can still find similar units like this. It has a built-in propane grill. It's got storage, it's got a sink, it's got a prep station. So don't be afraid to find something that's older, fix it up, and use it for camping. Especially with propane stuff, the only thing you have to worry about is how old the hose is, and a lot of times you can find replacement hoses, or you can just contact a grill maker and try and just replace all the lines. That might be a future episode where I'm fixing this unit up because it has really grown on me. It does need some TLC, but any old piece of equipment is going to need TLC, but a lot of times I do prefer a standalone unit. Okay, campers, let's go check on our food. Alright, campers, welcome back. Food's just finishing up. Now what I did was I used frozen food. The advantage of using frozen food is it also acts as an ice pack, and once you get to the campsite and you're ready to cook dinner, it should be thawed enough that it will cook fairly easily, and that way you have less stuff you're carrying, less weight. And I do a very similar thing with my water bottles. I'll freeze them and use them as ice packs. Alright, so looks like our dinner is ready. I'm going to plate it right now. Alright, campers, so our dinner is plated. I will admit I did clean it up a little bit, but this is what you can do while camping. It's very simple, but it's very simple, and it's a nice variety from your standard hot dogs and beans and hamburgers while camping. Gives you a little variety, and it lets you show off to your friends your cooking skills. Alright, campers, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave a comment down below or contact me on my Facebook channel, The Casual Car Camper on Facebook. The link will be in the description below. And remember, as always, as long as you're having fun, you're doing camping right.